At Filter, we reported much negative news this year, which sadly I wouldn't call surprising. But I'll pick out a few eye-catching stories month by month. In January, a US appeals court issued a damning verdict against the FDA in the key Triton case over its handling of flavored vape applications. Judges condemned the FDA's dishonesty and regulatory switcheroos in threatening access to smoking cessation products, as Kiran Sidhu reported. In February, there was good news in the context of dire expectations. The World Health Organization met some resistance to its anti-vape agenda at the COP10 summit in Panama, failing to get countries' consensus for various prohibitionist plans. A March standout was Kiran's account of her experiences in deprived parts of Mumbai, where people use tobacco in many forms, yet harm reduction is often an unheard of luxury. In April, Gabriel Oke reported promising openness to THR among medical students he surveyed in Rwanda, though more education and resources are sorely needed. In May, World No Tobacco Day and World Vape Day saw calls to action and indictments of misinformation from Derek Yuck and Skip Murray. And then in June, the WHO hit another low, calling vapes designed to kill, as Lindsay Stroud described. The FDA belatedly authorized some menthol-flavored products, and Colin Mendelsohn depicted a vast natural experiment, comparing Australia and New Zealand as Australia slightly relaxed its prohibitive restrictions after the horse had bolted. In July, Kiran reported on the US National Harm Reduction Coalition's significant move into smoking cessation work. The Triton case got kicked up to the Supreme Court, and Jeannie Cameron explored whether international human rights mechanisms could take down THR bans. In August, New Zealand made a positive move to welcome heated tobacco products in pursuit of smoke-free status, while simultaneously pursuing a counterproductive ban on non-refillable vapes. The European Commission called for bans on public use of THR products in September, while Jonathan Kirkpatrick memorably portrayed what THR looks like from prison. In October, we covered anti-vape moves afoot in France, Ireland, Canada, and in the UK, where backtracking in what has been an international THR leader was a year-long theme. Yet despite everything, more people than ever worldwide are choosing safer nicotine options, reported Kiran in November after the latest Global State of Tobacco Harm Reduction report. To underline this, Sweden that month became the world's first country to reach smoke-free status, with a smoking rate under 5%, thanks overwhelmingly to snus. Finally, in December, vapes had their first day in the Supreme Court for the US Triton case. Mark Gunther was there for Filter, as some of the justices displayed remarkable, yet unsurprising, levels of ignorance. I could wish for many policy developments next year. The UK to stop moves that jeopardize its progress, the US FDA to get its comeuppance, the WHO to get stymied again at COP11, and prevention and reversals of bans around the world. But relying on policymakers is never a safe bet, so I'll switch to a wish that I believe will come true. For nicotine consumers to keep doing what they're doing despite their governments, but at a faster rate than ever. Well over 100 million people have adopted safer nicotine products, driving down prospects of smoking-related disease and death. It's people making safer choices for themselves, but it's also the effect they can have on their communities around them. To highlight one last article this year, Skip Murray told the story of Bob, an older veteran who came to her former vape shop after being let down by doctors' smoking cessation advice. Over the next 2 weeks, Skip related, Bob brought in 9 of his fellow vets to get my help to quit smoking. That's what I'm talking about.